Here's a special shout out video for Willie German. Willie, I'm working on the chair, and your friggin' chair is a nightmare, Willie, but it's going to be the coolest chair in Ladner when I'm done it. Sure is. Yep. Here I am once again. Hey, don't you guys think something's wrong with this picture? There we go. Much better in my carving gear. So this, well, actually, I'm in my work pants right now, but this is my carving jacket, obviously. This, yesterday, I was doing a little Dremel carving, a first little replica of this big tree house. I stopped, took a break, had a sip of coffee. I went on the Facebook Marketplace, and the first thing I saw was this chair, and it said free. So I was like, holy shit, that thing's freaking wicked. Because I've been wanting to buy one. I said in one of my earlier videos this year, I've been wanting to buy one of those those like hanging egg things for my front yard to sit in after I was tired, and I can just sit in my front yard by the water fountain and chill out. But I'm not paying $400 for one of those pieces of junk. So I was gonna buy one of those like love seat swings. You know, you get those little swings that are like couches. You got like 3 seats, but then it would take up my whole front yard. So I said, man, I would just really love an outdoor rocking chair for out there. This is a big rocking chair, man. This thing is big. So I messaged the person. I said, hi, is this chair still available? And they're like, yep, you're the first one to message me. I'm like, perfect, I'll take it. And I said, so they messaged me back. And they're like, perfect, it's yours. And I said, well, so where do you live? And they're like, Ladner. And I'm like, perfect. I live in Ladner too, Delta, British Columbia. And she said, actually, I think we have some of your carvings. So long story short is, one of my buddies at work that's one of my buddies at work's wife's stepmom, and he bought her a carving from me a couple years ago. So I went and got this chair. I gave them a big Christmas tree. Just because they're giving this away. I said, well, I want to give something back, so I took her a tree too. This is going to be a winter project. I really don't care. It's like a big old Viking thing. It needs some work. I don't care. I'm going to carve this whole thing. And the worst thing about it, though, is I think it is probably maple, which I hate carving maple. We'll do a little test in a second. I'm not going to start carving it today. But let me get the camera out of the thing here. But, so this top part, this is just like old door handles here. This is a little bit broken, but I'm not going to worry about that, right? Like, I'm not taking this piece out, because you have to spread the whole thing apart to get it back in. Like, I'm great at taking things apart, but not putting them back together. So, you can see here, there's broken. I'll just glue that back together. I'm not worried about that. He said, the guy that I got it from said he left it outside in the winter one time, and it separated right here on both sides. So he put these on the back to make it solid. Thing's freaking solid. You see down here, like there's stuff missing there. Don't care, like that. Just don't care. The bottoms, like when I move this, I accidentally broke this off. Look. So I knew my buddy Lawrence helped me move it. When he did, I saw that the bottoms of the rockers were rotted. So the first thing I'm going to have to do is take those bottoms off and replace them. I don't know what type of wood this is. Who's here? I was hoping the farmer is going to be here because he's a woodworking expert. But yeah, so like this is probably, I imagine this whole chair's maple. So the bottoms need to be replaced. How can I show you guys all this on video? Well, let's just do this. Sorry. So that's kind of shitty that that one broke, because that was perfectly good. See, this one is rotten. See that rot in there? So I need to replace these. But it's a good thing, because all I need to do is cut them to length, because they just notch inside here. So all I need to do is, they got these cool things on here too. Look at this, how easy it comes off here. I'm going to put those back on. Little spider webs back there. So I want to get this off, so I got a template. And I'll just copy this template and use it on both of them, if that makes sense. It's not really that much of a rocker. Well, I guess it is. But maybe I can make it more of a rocker, give it some more bevel in there. So that's that. So let me try and get it. How is this put in here? Let me get my hair blower here. So I think they're held in there with a nut. Yeah, see that nut inside there? So I don't know if I have the proper sockets here to get that. Maybe I should just try them, but I just noticed some of this is rotten too. But it's not that bad. It's still solid where it needs to be. I'm going to see if I got a socket here. Okay, so I got the right socket. There's no sense me filming taking this off, but I'm going to get both these bottoms off. You see, it just slides underneath this part. So I'm not good at this type of stuff. Like, I can take things apart. It would be a lot easier for me to get a sledgehammer and do it, but the older I get, the more patience I'm having to take things like this apart. Anyways, so I don't know if I showed you guys, but I got one out. But this one in here is a different size. I think it's bigger than this. So out of all this bullshit sockets and stuff I got here, there and then through here and stuff, I don't have the right size socket. So I got to go home and get my socket set and try and get that out of it. Is there a size on that? I wonder if I take a picture, it will say the size on there. Anyways, I got to go home and deal with this bullshit. So I'm back at the farm again. I got my socket set. See if I can find the proper socket for this now and get these legs off. So after I spend all that time with the different sockets and stuff like that, trying to get it in there and spin it out, the thing was just spinning in the wood, and I just used a little sledgehammer and that got it out. Yep, sledgehammer fixes everything. Yep. Okay, so I showed you I got them off. Like I said, there's a little bit rotten here. I don't care. I can get that, let this dry out, get that wood hardener stuff that prevents rot from traveling any farther. If any of you guys are going to say that. So the thing is, here's one of the legs. It's broken here. The thing is, this is 2 inches thick. That's 2 inches thick. I don't have any 2-inch stuff. I'm not cutting up those slabs. This cedar's pretty wide grain. Like, this stuff is wide grain. It's really soft cedar, so I don't think that's the best to use. I want this thing to be more of a rocking motion. So I'm going to have to, when I do the template, I'm going to have to make it a bit more rounder here. So it will sit back like this. And if I want to rock it, it can rock it. You don't want it sitting like this when it's sitting. You want it to sit back like the back where my thumb is. And the cushion will be where my knuckles are. The seat. You don't want it sitting like that. You want it like this. Or you want it like this. I'm just going to get my grinder out and see what type of wood my flaps on, or see what type of wood this is. I'm betting it's maple wood. I'm pretty sure it's teak wood. That's either teak or mahogany. What do you guys think? If you can't hear me, my dust mask, teak or mahogany? Look how rot, look at all the rot in here that came out. So it's still pretty solid here. So that's a bonus, because I could always fill this in with wood glue and sawdust. Like I don't want to spend any money on this thing. I just want to carve it quickly and have a rocking chair for my front yard. But I think I could probably, and I would love to hear you guys' suggestions if you have experience with this type of stuff. I thought about getting that wood hardener stuff, putting it in here, right? Getting it in here, and then filling it with sawdust and epoxy and paint this front part, top piece black and scuff it up, right? This is like I just want it to look like an old Viking's chair, an old Viking king's chair, right? That's been weathered. Here's this part too. So I'm pretty sure the bench is cedar. This part, sold that cedar. I'm gonna have to replace this board. No big deal. See? These are brand new jeans. I bought them just for work to sit in the truck, but they're probably wrecked. Anyways. What? See? These are brand new jeans. I bought them just for work to sit in the truck, but they're probably wrecked. Anyways. What? Alright, so it's now a few days later. I'm done work for the week. I work Saturday and Sunday. But I've changed some plans about this old chair. But what I'm going to do today, and I'm not going to show you guys, I'm not going to waste your guys' time. I'm going to do all the sanding on this with this Orbit sander. This Varathane, like the sealer that they put on here, the wood sealer, the clear finish, comes off super easy. It's so old. So this Orbit sander will do it. I've been talking to Just Carve Rob about this. For all you that don't know, he's my good friend. He's got a YouTube channel, Just Carve Rob Carving. You might want to go over there and subscribe, because he's good at the little caricature carvings. He's a knife carver and a power carver. But I think it's best because, let me get the camera off the tripod. Hello. This is going to be almost the end of this video. This will be a series, maybe a couple of things, because this is so rotten in here. Okay, so we're going to go around to the back of the chair. This is so rotten in here. Yes, I got this stuff. It's like, this thing filming? Yeah. It's the stuff that I got that I was going to fill in here is like a Bondo, but it's for like countertops. It's like a you have to, it's got catalysm, so you have to mix it up a certain way, then it heats up and dries. I was going to fill it with this, but I talked to Just Carve Rob. He says I should, and Liz. Hi Liz. Hi Amy. Just Carve Rob suggested that I cut this whole piece out and then put a slab. Let's give you a better view. I put a slab in here and take that whole piece out. Then I got some mahogany little things to take home and carve too. Right? So, like I've said, I'm not good at putting things back together. I'm good at taking things apart. But I think if I just get my chainsaw and go bam, 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 then I can take that piece out and I'll have a lot easier time sanding. Then, yeah, so just let me get this sanded and then and I'll cut this out here. I'll cut this piece out, yeah. Because then it's just a lot easier to work on. It creates a lot more work. but it will probably be a lot cooler when it's done too. But I like this old school effect. I like the way that looks. It looks old. I keep telling myself, do I want to cut that out? Do I want to cut it out? No, I don't want to cut it out because I don't want to carve a slab, but I'm going to have to carve a slab if I cut that out. And if I don't cut that out, I'm going to have to sand all the way around these things. So cut it out and deal with it later. Another thing too, I just want to clarify, this is not a restoration project. This is get an old cool Viking chair and make it cool for your front yard project, Jordy. Yes. I just created myself a shitload more work. I don't have my microphone hooked up, but even this bottom one, you can see it's good I did that because you can see all the rot in here. So sooner or later that back would have snapped off there anyways. Fucking lots more work, pardon my language. Another thing I'm going to take off is those these doorknobs as the tops. Anyways, I gotta get my screws in there. My drill bit. Fuck. And the booth, just like that. Okay, now I gotta start sanding. Oh boy. All right, so that's about as much sanding as I want to do. It's got it on my hydraulic lift. I'm going to lower it down and see where I want to do the carvings. You know, for something like this, you might get the real woodworking professionals, which I respect most of them. They'll be like, you got to sand all that varnish off. You need to sand it all off. Well, those are the people that... Anyways, yeah, I got enough of it sanded. So these big dowels that they would turn were glued together, so they were two pieces. At least the cracks are on the sides. I'll pull the camera off the tripod. That's going to be it for this part number one. Let's see, give you a wider view here. But you can see, here's where the cracks go all the way down. So it wasn't solid wood. They glued it together, and then the years of weathering slowly spread it apart. Same with that one too. I don't care, because when I carve it here, you don't see that crack, and even if you did see that crack, I wouldn't care either. So you know, now's the time if I wanted to, since I took that back off, if I wanted to take these screws out of here and bang that tighter in there, I could. But I just don't think I care. I'll paint those things black. They do not bother me at all. I'm thinking about these pieces here. These are like bowling balls or whatever they are. But I'm thinking I don't like the way that these are like just like that up top there. I'm wondering if I could cut here, and make that like a cut here and here, make it like a wizard cap up top and then a wizard here. I just don't know. Anyways, that's it for number 1, everybody. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Oh yeah, I sounded all these dowels from the back of the chair. This one looked perfect for a little snowman. Another thing I found on the bottom of the rockers on the back is this little metal thing. I told you all this is a Viking rocking chair. Yes, it is. Yep, that's a Viking flower if I've ever seen one.